it's definitely grown bigger and a lot better than I ever thought it would be. So there's super great girls to work with.
Okay. Hi guys, welcome back to the Pulsar podcast. I'm Haley. Today we have with us Kendelle and our special guest, Cyarra Adversalo, and we'll be talking about Motown podcast or Motown highlights. Sorry.
Yeah, so thank you, Haley. Today is our first guest of the season. I guess we can call it that, of this school year. And we're interviewing Cyarra and how she grew Motown highlights. Everyone watching this already knows it's become like a hot spot for excuse me, Wanaloo sports. So Cyarra is a class of 2021 grad, so she's an alumni. And she started Motown Highlights back in 2018, and it's still ongoing with over 1,500 followers. So congrats, Cyarra, and you've made it
Thank you.
for like many years now running this account. And we just wanted to dive into your story and see like the behind the scenes, learn more about Motown's history, because I think everyone just sees, the really pretty football photos. And yeah, we want to know more about you and the account.
Thank you. There's a lot that it grew from actually. So originally it was me and two other of my friends, Zion, David Raby, and Kaylee Lau. And as you go through high school, you gain more responsibilities, and they were both in Menimac, which is how we started the football edit and video portion type of it. And Zion, she grew busier with Menimac because it's a big responsibility being in Menimac. A lot of people would know that. So it just became me and Kaylee, and we would just go to as many games as we could. Originally, it was only going to be football games. And if we're being completely honest, it was just because Coach Savai, because he was our teacher for health in our freshman year. So we got close to him, which is why we grew such a close relationship to working with the football team. Yeah. So that's kind of where it all started from. It grew from just three of us going to games for fun, supporting Coach Savai. And then we were like, oh, we have all these pictures and videos, and we're doing all these edits and highlights. So why not like post it for like families to see and the students to use after their games? Because a lot of times athletes, when they have like the other bigger, which you would call, I don't really know how to explain it, like OC16 maybe, they take only a limited amount of photos, which is understandable because, that's their job. But there's some athletes that don't always get caught in the shots. So that's where we would try to just, get the smaller parts of it and like try to photograph all the athletes that we could. Yeah. And did you guys want like a deeper, further, how it kept going kind of thing?
I think that's good, right?
Yeah, we actually were wondering, like, was there any like accounts that you were trying to mimic almost? Because I know it did start off kind of just on the whim, but once it started like picking up some traction, were there any like inspiration for you guys?
We would get a lot of, I guess you could say we kind of were inspired by OC16 probably, because we would always see how they would cover the games. So I guess that's where we would be like, oh, we kind of want to do the same thing. And like there were times where we would end up talking to like the scoring live photographers when we were on the sideline, or the OC16 photographers. And, you know, I guess like they would just give some tips and stuff sometimes. So in a way, it's like we were kind of trying to, I guess you could say, mimic like how their concept of doing things was.
So, what do you enjoy most about running the Motown account?
What I enjoy most would probably be, I guess, just watching the sports. And then when there's really exciting moments in it and you actually like catch it, you can rewatch it later. It's like by posting those little clips that aren't always caught by like the TV people when they're filming it to put on TV, and they don't always replay it, or you have to wait for them to replay it in a couple days or so. But when it's on the account, like we'll add it to like the highlights per se, or we'll post the picture, and it's just exciting to see it happen again. Like you don't have to wait to rewatch it kind of thing.
So prior to starting the account, did you enjoy like photography or was it something that you picked up along the way?
It was really something I picked up on the way. If I'm being honest, I never knew how to work a camera in the beginning. I only started using it because I would go to the games. And we had a camera from my sister when she was in Minimac at the high school. And it was kind of just sitting around. So I was like, oh, I might as well, try to take pictures and see how things go. So she would like give me the simple rundown of how to like change the ISO and the shutter speed. And like if you're going to do like fast sports, then you should have a high shutter speed and all that. So that part was just her teaching me. So it wasn't really something that I wanted to do originally, but I guess as I kept doing it, it began something that I was like, oh, this is really fun. So it was also kind of fun because it was mostly for my friends. So when they would be like, then they would see it and they were like, oh, that's so nice. And I was like, oh, that's kind of like, it's like something that I felt like I was actually starting to get good at, I guess you could say. So I kind of started to gain a liking for photography.
That's so cool. That's so cute too. And yeah, your photos are great. Even like way back from the beginning, the photos were always amazing. And I really like that you guys were focused on highlighting the people who maybe weren't like the spotlight in all the OC16 posts because they are super limited. But now that you have more people on your team, do you want to like talk a little bit about that? Because it's grown to a larger group now.
Yeah, it's definitely grown. So after Zion kind of got busier, it was just me and Kaylee. So she started doing videos so we could do more hype videos. And then I was trying to cover pictures and the story highlights. And that was during, I think, boys basketball season. So Sarah Brecky and Kalena Ching were also going to the games and they offered their help. They're like, oh, we could help you with the stories. And I was like, that's great because it's really hard to do both, taking the pictures and using my phone at the same exact time. So they began to do the stories, and that's when they kind of started to get more like, I guess you could say, fancy and more like aesthetic. Because when I would do it, I would just video, tag the person, post it. I was like, I'm not even gonna make it look all fancy. So yeah, they definitely were a huge help when they stepped into the picture. And if I'm being honest, I was not going to continue it after I graduated high school just because the fact it was such a big responsibility after I started working like 7 days a week. I was like, this is a lot of thinking that I have to do if like I can really manage my time like this. So Sarah and Kalena actually offered like, oh, are we still gonna we'd be happy to help. So I was like, oh well, if you guys are still gonna be able to help, that would be great. Like I would love the help. So Sarah started doing videos so we could have like hype videos, which is where you see all the nice hype videos that have been on the page. And Kalena's been doing the story highlights as well as pictures. And she did the marching band hype video on the Motown page as well. And I think just about maybe a month ago or a couple weeks ago is when the Jose twins, Alyssa and Lauren, started helping as well. So Lauren does, I think she does videos as well, yeah. And she also does pictures. So the girls' volleyball photo shoot, she did those ones as well. And I think she did the football one too. She helped out. And Alyssa now helps with stories too. And it's actually a lot more helpful having two people do stories because sometimes one person doesn't catch it because like the angle that they're at, but then the other person will catch it. So yeah, it's definitely grown bigger and a lot. And it really helps that I guess I've grown a relationship with them because I've known the Jose twins since I was in elementary school. And it's like we reconnected through Motown highlights because they've been helping. And I've known Kalena and Sarah since my sophomore year because I had Sarah in math. And Kalena, she was just always with Sarah. So I've become super close with them and it's very nice because through COVID I've lost a lot of touch with people. So it's been nice to be able to interact with them again.
Yeah, I think Haley and I can definitely agree that it's hard to run a social media account, especially for like now hopefully we can relate, like to having to take the photos and then going through all the photos and even trying to like keep up with the stories. Like it takes up a lot of time. So it's so amazing to like see like a whole team of girls now working towards like the account and like helping you out. So with your team now, like where do you see Motown going in the future? I know you guys recently opened like a website. So do you have any future plans in store?
I really want to continue it, but I know the girls have plans to go to college and stuff. So I don't expect them to, to like come back because that's a lot of stuff. And I don't know, it's really a matter of if there's people around to help. Like for football, I was asked to come back by the boys. So usually I will only go to the games if like people ask me or if I'm sent their schedules because then I'm able to like see where things are. Um, I really hope that I can keep, running it, but it's all a matter of time. I maybe like, I don't know if like I end up back there again, like at a game that I'll post on the account again, or I'll bring my camera with me so that there's something that I can maybe show, or even if I'm not able to be there, then maybe I'll like take pictures from like scoring live and all that and just, try to keep it up on there. It's gonna, I really don't want to like just leave the account dead after like all of it. So yeah, I'm hopefully planning on continuing it even after, because I know the girls are going to get busy, which is understandable. Everybody's got to go places, and I know they're going to go do great things too. So we'll see. Maybe I'll keep continuing it.
Any other questions, Haley? That was all of mine.
Um, no, I think that's all I had too, honestly.
Okay. Any other comments from you, Cyarra? Do you want to add anything in?
I don't really know. I don't know. Let me think if there's anything.
Any shout
Yeah.
out?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, definitely a huge shout out to Coach Svai because he was the one that really, he also encouraged us to, I guess, get out there. And if it wasn't for starting to take pictures, I probably wouldn't be as social as I like started to be because I guess being around the football team, I got closer to a lot of the boys and I was able to talk to more people. Then through them, like I grew more friends and I started going covering more sports. So one, that helped gain like a hobby that I never thought I would have. Two, it helped me gain a lot of friends. And I think it really gave me a lot of my social skills. So I want to really, it's just a huge shout out to Coach Savai and a lot of the admin at Waterloo for actually letting me do this because I know sometimes there's specific things that like you have to watch out when using Waterloo's name, I guess you could say. So that's why we were super cautious when actually creating the account because I didn't want there to be any I don't know, I wouldn't say disputes because I don't think they would be like upset if we used Moanalua's name, but it's just the fact that it wasn't something we discussed with admins, which is why we just chose Motown highlights that my brother actually came up with. So it wasn't me that chose it.
Cute little backstory. But yeah, that's all we have for today. So thank you, Cyarra, for sharing all your wonderful memories and lessons and this whole journey that Motown has been. And I wish you the best of luck this season and whatever sports you're able to cover for the rest of the school year and future years. So for people watching, make sure to share this podcast, especially with people who are Motown fans, like this episode, and follow Motown highlights. Show them some love, show them some support on their posts because so much work and love goes into it. And we hope to see you on the next episode. Bye, guys.
Thank you.